Match referee is the top man in the business, Ben Thaler. He's in charge out there in the middle. And it should be a great game. It should be a tremendous game tonight. A Super League Thursday that will live up to its reputation. It's Hull FC against Hull Kingston Rovers. Much more than local pride is at stake.
Certainly is, and keep your eye out for the captain from the black and white, Gareth Ellis. He realises that he will lead by example, and they'll have to do the defending very early in the piece. They'll try to get into the phases of the Rovers.
Here we go then. Mark Sneyd, the player of the month for June, gets us underway. And Big Dane Tills will take the first tackle, and what a tackle from the two big men up front, Scott Taylor and Liam Watson. He felt that, did Tills.
Did he ever? Well, I mentioned just before the kick-off that it looked as though the forward from Hull had lost their mojo. Boy, they've got it back in just 3 defensive tackles. It's game on already.
Sean Lunt, the dummy half, he gets the ball away, and that is Maurice Blair, who is playing alongside Albert Kelly tonight. Plays the ball. Lunt gets it away again. Solid defence from the black and whites.
It's always an advantage when you know the opposition still in their own half when it comes to the final kick.
Good kick though, just the same, right into the corner, and Jamie Shaw has to run this ball out. And that's great defence now on the other side of the field from Hull Kingston Rovers. Let's get down for an early word from Bill Arthur.
Eddie, the biggest roar so far tonight has come from the Hull Kingston Rovers supporters when they heard the name Josh Mantellato mentioned by the stadium announcer when he was reading out the Hull Kingston Rovers side, because nobody outside the Rovers camp expected to see this man in action back for this game tonight. And what a return it is, what a game to return it is for Josh Mantellato, out since Good Friday, and what a knock-on that is as well. But Mantellato, just briefly to tell you, not only has he had a broken arm to contend with, he's also had an eye problem, but he saw a specialist yesterday, was given the all clear, and told James Webster, his coach, that he was determined to play in this one.
Big blunder there from Mark Minicello. Yes, Mantellato is a very important cog in this Rovers machine. 334 points last year. He has missed 14 games, and it just shows you how important James Webster and Hull Kingston Rovers A, rate him to their performance, and B, of course, are prepared to take the risk in this, the biggest of their fixtures. That's a high from Liam Watts. And Ben Cockayne, will he take the two?
It wouldn't surprise me, just to settle things down. Well, that was a bad one.
We'll keep it going here, Steve.
Yes, they're running it on the penalty, and that's Dane Tills. Down he goes. 18 metres away, plays the ball to Sean Lunt. It was Allgood, that was Blair. Here now is Clarkson, he gets it away. Here is Mantellato. No, it isn't, beg your pardon. It is Ian Thornley. Mantellato just outside him. James Webster, Willie Poaching, watching on anxiously as the Rovers just test this defence out early on here. James Donaldson gets to his feet, plays the ball to Lunt. And back it comes again. Albert Kelly to the corner. Chance here. Oh, he's put it down, Kensio.
I can't believe it. Kensio. It was all for all the world. Beautiful kick. All he had to do was just grab it, put it down.
You don't get many chances in big games like this, and you've got to make sure that if you get over the try line and the ball comes into your hands, you've got to take it. He beat Talanoa. It was all he has to do is catch that to certain 4 points.
It was, and he hasn't scored, Kensio, since the defeat in Perpignan in May.
Boy, that was a real let-off for the home side, and they realise it as well. But it's also given the green light that they've got to keep an eye on the kicking of Albert Kelly. That was superb into that right corner.
Oh, Gareth Ellis is knocked on now under pressure.
He's furious. He said it's been pinned.
But it was a big hit by James Greenwood. Initially, he bounced off the tackle.
He gets right underneath the ball.
You know, that ball was snatched out. Gareth Ellis, with his eyes wide open, he knows where he's running. Gets his bumpers up, and I think that ball's been tugged away.
It was Mitch Allgood who was in there first.
There's a hand on it, but it doesn't go in to steal the ball. He's just putting his hand back towards the tackle area. Now
he rips the ball out, Stuart. Look, watch his action there. He's pulling the ball out.
This is in slow motion. It's in slow motion, you know, full speed. He's just putting his hand in there, and the ball comes loose.
This is Ian Thornley now. He has had a taste in the past of this big match, of course, Wigan Saints. Here's real time. You can see why Ben Taylor decided that was a loose carry.
Yeah, where there was movement with the arms of Allgood there, looking to get away with it. Either way, Rovers not going to argue with this.
They aren't, because here they come and they are in possession with Thomas Minns.
Great tackle from Kirk Yeaman. Had to be as well. This is a good position. Will they go early in the kick?
Lunt will come into the centre of the field, and you'll find the ever-willing runner of James Donaldson. Lunt, dummy half. Back it comes then to Coquet. That's Blair. Nice stab to the in-goal area. They look for a repeat set here if they possibly can. Michaels with a lot of work to do, and he can't do it.
Wonderful pressure. That's what it's all about. Controlling the game. Irrespective of what sport you play, just turn the opposition around and you've got the numbers. There'll be a dropout right underneath the sticks.
Well, Hull FC have put themselves under pressure. 2 mistakes, bringing the ball away in yardage. They can't do that. If they're genuine title contenders, they need to get back in the winning ring. And Hull KR, well, certainly they've turned up. Here's the man who brought the first carry of the game, Dane Tilts. Gone straight into Gareth Ellis, one of the biggest defenders for Hull FC.
Stand square, boys! Oh, there's a problem.
Yes, there's somebody in
Liam Watts, I think it is, Eddie.
Who's got a bang in the side of the face by the looks of things.
He is a big man, Dane Tilts. It's hard to get across. I think he's 6'7", 6'8", when you look at his stats, but he's as tall as a lamppost, and to try and get near him, it looks like Liam Watts has banged his head on the hip of Tilts and then probably got a bit of friendly fire from Scott Taylor as well.
Well, it's difficult, yeah. It's a knee. Taylor's knee takes him out just as he was spinning him to the ground. The young player, watch for the knee coming into the head. There it is. That was sufficient.
Well, it looks like he's A-OK to carry on. So Dane Tilts will continue this attack, and here is Allgood now for Rovers. They have to play Leeds next week on Thursday night, another Thursday night date for them next week. The Leeds Rhinos coming into form. Cocaine tries to slip the net, then gets the pass away to Allgood. Allgood goes down 11 metres shy of the line, bang in front of those posts. Lunt again comes right to Kelly. Kelly is a key player, and Mark Minicello knows that. Lunt waits. Fires the pass then into centre field, into the arms of Greenwood once again.
Will it be a drop or a kick into the corner?
Last tackle it is. Oh, and he's over the line, but the referee's whistle has gone. Forward pass. That's the turnover.
Well, he's intelligent, isn't he, Sean Lunt? He gets out, he looks to isolate Jamie Shaw.
Donaldson just straying half a metre maybe in front.
Yeah, you're spot on, Eddie. And the official, Ben Taylor, was in a great position. He just delayed that pass.
I think Hull Kingston Rovers know they have to stop the big men up front. And there is the power base at Hull KR.
Wasn't that Phil Lowe in the screen as well, just to the bottom of the left?
As I say, the power base, Barry. Ancient and modern.
Oh, he's lost that.
Penalty this time. It's happened a little bit too often for Ben Taylor's comfort. Now opening 7 minutes.
Yeah, Sean Lunt has got... You know, it's a style that's been brought in over the past few years. He's tried to aim for the ball carrying arm, but it looks as though Lunt has got a fingertip to that.
They needed that as well, didn't they? Hull FC have spent, 7 minutes under pressure defending their own line. Was that ripped out a notch, Stuart?
Yeah, Dane Tilts it was in the tackle. Just after the tackle's complete, he's put his left arm round and knocked the ball out.
So first chance really for the Black and Whites to attack the Robins line. 7.5 minutes gone. Lee Radford looking anxiously on. He knows his men have to get back to winning ways. Don't forget they have the Super 8 programme still to come. 7 matches between now and, plus next week, between now and the end of the season. And then we'll know who's off to Old Trafford after the semi-finals. But this is a great chance. Abdul, preferred in the starting lineup to Leon Price, who's on the bench. This is Gareth Ellis. Good tackle coming in again from Greenwood. Now it's with Mark Sneed. Good ball from him to Minicello. Minicello is halted on the line. Referee puts the arm up last tackle coming up here for Hull FC with Sneed. Dabs it to the in-goal area, chases on, ball has come free. Oh, hello. Are they appealing for the try here? I think they are. I think that Abdul says he has got this ball down.
We've got no try on the field.
But there's no try on the field. That's a big call. That really determines the way the video referee will look at it. And the video referee tonight is Phil Bentham.
I think you'll find that James Donaldson perhaps has got a hand to this, Stuart.
Well, both touch judge and referee both thought that the ball went dead from the hands of the Hull player. So we'll see here. It's certainly not grounded at that point. If he got the ball on the ground, the player would be dead, but it's still live. And what happens here? Does he get possession of it? He's got it, and he's taken it.
It's ever so close, isn't it? A good appetite for work from Jordan Abdul. The halfbacks working in tandem. Abdul and Sneed. Sneed kicks it. Abdul chases it, and on another occasion he'll get that.
No try, but it was very close indeed.
Was close, but it's going to be a 20-metre restart. Phil Bentham confirms that.
Whilst Hull FC were in possession, I were watching the communication of Jordan Abdul and Mark Sneed. Occasionally you'll see them on the bottom of the screen motioning towards the players, what they want them to do. The communication looks good.
So that's a golden chance apiece gone missing and gone begging. And here, well, he's claiming here is Greenwood that this ball was taken from him illegally in the challenge by Yeaman, but I think you can see it's a drop ball.
It was a great tackle by the centre Yeaman, simple as that. But he may have lost some pace, Kirk Yeaman. But what he does for this black and white outfit in defence is outstanding.
Here is Danny Houghton, gets the pass away, Sneed. No look pass from him, finds Minicello again. He is surrounded by dark blue jerseys. Houghton, 22 metres away. Sneed, up he comes again. Here is Jamie Shaw. Jamie Shaw is grabbed by 3. Down he goes, 10 metres shy of the line. Sneed once again in centre field. Gets it away to Scott Taylor. Taylor being given the round to the kitchen by the Hull Kingston Rovers supporters behind those posts. 52 appearances for Hull KR. Solid
great defence there.
Ball popped up though. Here is Steve Michaels. He then gives it to Jordan Abdul. And this is the 5th tackle. So last one coming up here for the Black and Whites.
Got to be a kick from Sneed.
Another. Well, he will produce something else here because they've got 6 to go, and it's a free play to the corner. They'll bring it back for the knock-on.
Not a bad option though. You play to the whistle, and Sneed definitely realised that. It was a neat little chip through, and it was the first knock-on by a Rovers player. So that'll be head and feet.
He takes control in these situations, Mark Sneed. His kicking game last week against Leeds Rhinos, even though they were defeated, long and short, very good. Started the game as well. An impressive form.
You'd expect though the hooker Sean Lunt really should have got 2 hands to this. He failed to do it. But what an intelligent kick. Just a bit too strong.
And it was a no-risk kick because they come back for the original offence, which is a Hull FC scrum. Ben Cockayne, or that man in your screen, Mark Sneed, with John Wells, depending on who wins this match, will be with John Wells at the touchscreen at the end of the game. There's Ben, you just saw Mark Sneed. So who's going to be with John Wells? Mark Sneed was invited last week and ended up on the losing side. Is it going to be lightning striking twice? Houghton gets the ball away. Ellis will drive it in.
2 movement.
Well, look, they've got plenty of tackles left. They're a metre shy of the line. And there is Abdul again. Gets it wide. Chances here. Desperate defence. Desperate defence to bring Fanua down. Houghton. Short ball. Liam Watts. Liam Watts over the line. First try to the Black and Whites. And since the ball was dropped in the corner by Ken Sio, Hull have been bossing this match.
Tremendous
Liam
work.
Watts with the try.
Tremendous work, Eddie, from Sean Lunt as well. It all came about by quick play of the ball. You could see that the Rovers defence, they were stretched. They really put them into a lot of problems. And they've taken full advantage. This is a kick from Sneed. It came off. The hooker, Sean Lunt, the try. That was a free play. And from it, look at that. That's how they come. They went out of the line to the Rovers defence. You can't afford to do that. And this man has been playing very well throughout the season. Great finish by Watts.
Yes, 5 years, Robin. This is his 5th year at Hull FC. And he injured his neck against Leeds last week. He got a bang in the head as well, early doors here at this match tonight. But he's come up with the opening 4 points of the game. And close enough also for Mark Sneyd, you would imagine, to add the extras. Mark Sneyd, Super League Player of the Month. The leading goal kicker in the business. 84 goals from Mark Sneyd, and each and every one of those goals has been greeted with the roar from the terraces of Sneyd. And just listen to this when this ball goes over the crossbar tonight. This for a 6-0 lead.
Back on, Steve.
There you go, there it is, the war cry, the new war cry for the Black and Whites.
Well, the pressure was applied by the Black and Whites, and Hull they just couldn't contain the size and power of Liam Watts, who scored the first try, but it's player after player, and you've got to get off your line when you're defending it against size.
Stay behind, boys.
So Hull, they were hit with everything but the kitchen sink for the first 5 minutes. They've weathered that. Ken Seo dropped the ball in the corner. Am I right in thinking they've bossed it since then?
Yeah, you'd be spot on. They took control. They were both under pressure on the opening 5 minutes. It's all about just controlling things now. The Black and Whites are quite happy just to try to get us near to the halfway line. But what about that wonderful pass by Danny Houghton? Really has been a wonderful servant for the Hull FC club.
There he is again, Houghton at dummy half. He has been tremendous.
Minicello there just had to juggle the ball. Now will they kick early? They often do.
Well, they don't need to because they've got the penalty.
And that's a poor penalty to give away on the 4th tackle. Trying to slow the man down, you've dominated him, you've turned him on the back, and then as he's getting up, well, if his hand's in, if anybody's around, and James Webster, well, the Hull coach doesn't agree with that decision.
Well, the referee actually said you need to be off the tackle a lot quicker. So I think he's penalised him for being slow out the tackle.
So another chance then for the Black and Whites. This is Liam Watts,
We're here, James.
the try scorer. He's got Danny Houghton behind him. 22nd consecutive derby for Danny Houghton. Solid defence from Rovers, it has to be. Jamie Shaw gets to his feet. Here is Houghton again. Gets the pass away. And it's Sneyd. Sneyd comes wide to Yeeman. It's good defence.
Certainly his Mins went right low.
And it has to be good defence here against Talanoa because he's a big strong thing is Batuli Talanoa, the Tongan. Minicello off the ground to Mark Sneyd. Sneyd, nice kick. Houghton! Brilliant! Brilliant kick from Mark Sneyd. And Danny Houghton, well, that's his 7th try in Super League. He is now at his career best of 9 tries in 2014, so equaling that total is Danny Houghton. And he got a try against the Rovers on Good Friday. He's got a try against the Rovers here in mid-July. And it's suddenly gone very much Lee Radford's way. And James Webster, not happy with the penalty decision, will be even less happy with the fact that Houghton is over the line for the 2nd Black and White try.
Well, this is the penalty. You can see that Greenwood was all over and messing around, but I think you'll also say that Minicello had an arm and grabbing the shirt of Greenwood. Either way, beautiful kick here. Sneyd, he knew exactly where this was going, Danny Houghton. He knew that this was a set pattern move, and he comes in on the angle. Nothing to stop him. No way in the world can Thomas Mins stop this. Outstanding play. It looked as though he was going to spend it out wide, but the way he came on the angle just confused the defence completely.
10-0 to the Black and Whites. They are 2 points behind Wigan at the top of the table. Wigan are at Leeds tomorrow. Leeds improving, getting some big stars back as well, the champions. It's a repeat of the grand final, of course. And how that one will pan out, heaven only knows. But here tonight, Hull have got the chance here in the first quarter of an hour of taking a 12-point lead. Mark Sneyd again.
Yeah, he got up very quickly, Mark
Same as
Sneyd.
last week. Keep
Time to
listening to me.
perfection. Both touches were happy with the kick through.
Tom.
He was very close
Tom,
though.
10 metres, pal.
He's the go-to man.
Okay,
Mark
mate. 10
Sneyd.
boys.
10 metres from the line. Danny Houghton, the urgency, the push that he has. That's 2 quick-fire tries from Hull FC, and Hull KR need to get a grip of this game. The forwards it's just relentless go forward
Come on.
from the black and whites.
Careful,
I know
go.
this is a game of ifs, ands,
Tommy,
buts and
come on,
maybes,
come on.
but what would have happened had Kensio scored that try?
The Rovers can't afford to think about that, Eddie.
Wait,
What
Sean,
they need to do is solve the problems, answer the questions that the black and whites are throwing at them. You get bad luck in games.
Oh, they got another penalty here, do Hull FC.
You get bad luck, you get bad fortune, and at the minute it looks like Hull KR, they try and fix things up. When Liam Watts scored the try, they were guilty of not getting off the line. When the last try was scored by Danny Houghton, there was nobody on the line because they'd all got forward quick. And with their energy, with their enthusiasm, they're trying a little bit too hard and they're making it worse by making mistakes.
But at the moment, Hull here going joint top of the table.
Discipline,
In fact, they
boys.
will go top on points difference. And Hull Kingston Rovers, sorry to say, they are on their way to the middle eights unless they can conjure something up here
Albert.
in the remainder of this match. That's an untidy play of the ball. The referee says play on.
They were very, very fortunate there, Hull.
Minicello
Play on.
Is still going.
and he says play on. Minicello, what a run from him.
Quick
For
play the ball,
Kevin Shaw.
Leaders. That should be a penalty.
This is Houghton. They're feeding it out wide. Abdul has slipped the net. Oh, no! I wonder, Marhe Fanua, if that is yet another turning point in this match already.
Well, we saw one from Kensio on the opposition. Oh, this is a dream try.
Well, they had a full tackle count as well. During that last exchange, Mark Minicello ended up with the ball. He had a full set of 6. And Marhe Fanua, who's been phenomenal this year when he's played on the wing or whether he's played in the centre, he had a nightmare last week. He's had some really positive contributions so far, but he knows and his team knows that was a certain 4 points.
Wait here, please.
Boy, that really
Thanks,
could have
Chris.
just put this game to bed. Simple
Discipline, boys,
as
both teams.
that.
Okay. Sorry, mate.
But Minicello,
Stand
what
boys.
about the second effort?
Heads in shot, head in.
Rovers, no need to panic. They came back from 6-19 down last week to beat Huddersfield
Well,
Giants,
move,
20
Danny!
points to 19. And while that was happening,
Wait.
Hull lost a 15-8 lead here to the Leeds Rhinos to go down by 15 points to 20 points.
To get back in this game, though, they realised that the Rovers have got to get good field position.
Adam Walker is on the field now.
Three,
But
move,
it's the
Danny!
defence from
Yeah, boys,
Hull
wait
FC
here.
is
Kick
so
out.
solid.
Good,
They're struggling to get anywhere near the halfway line.
Dane Tills carries the ball forward as he has done from
Back
the
in,
very
wait,
first
wait,
minute
guys.
of
Go.
the match. Sean Lunt at dummy half. Thunderous challenge on Oldwood. Gareth Ellis. Well, he's like a good glass of Steve-O's vintage red wine. He's getting better and better with age.
Well, he's took that personal, Gareth Ellis. The ball was dislodged. I think it was ripped out. And every time
That's
Allgood's
one.
got the
Wait,
ball, he has whacked him, Gareth
Play
Ellis.
on, play on.
Michaels with work to do.
So
Now,
move,
Hull Kingston
James.
Rovers trying to turn
Back
the
here,
screw.
Sean, and wait.
Yeah, and they've got to make sure that they get right back to the official. You know, you put the kick through, you're putting him under pressure, and just forget the most important thing. Don't give away a silly penalty. And what a wonderful run from the hooker. Danny Houghton, just when you needed it. Magical 15 metres forward.
There's another good run as well to tackle number 5. Last one coming up here then. And it's with Sneyd. He's over the 40, so goes down the middle of the pitch. And it bounces very kindly for Ben Cockayne. Penalty goal hero last week, Ben Cockayne.
Some of the Hull KR forwards really struggling now.
Square, good.
Hands on hips, trying to get back. They need to get back and bring this ball forward. I know the outside backs will always take the first couple, but they've got to make sure they offer themselves. Keep turning up for the teammate. No matter how tough, how quick the game is, you've got to be there in support.
Walker stands in the tackle. Ellis got a... Well, that was an awkward tackle, actually, that Gareth Ellis put in then, and he's still a bit groggy. He's on.
No, he's not well, Eddie.
He isn't. He can't get to his feet. This looks like it might be... Or is it an ankle?
I think
if it's concussion, I'm not sure.
He twisted in the tackle.
Right, move! Back
I think
here.
he may have been caught by the
Back here,
hip.
come on, fight.
He don't know where he is. Surely they'll take him off. They've got to.
Yeah, he's leading him off now, the physio. Well done.
Play on, don't go ball.
What a
I'm on that
tackle.
one. Move! Back here, lads.
You know, I'm really glad they brought that into the game. Gareth Elias, the warrior that he is, will play on and put his hand up to take the ball forward and make the tackles. The physio's done the perfect thing there. He's took it out of the hands of the player who'll go off, have a rest and be assessed.
Well, that might be a bit of a blow to Hull FC, the fact that the skipper has to leave the field again, but he was certainly wobbly-legged, there's no doubt about that.
Well, you say that they're going to miss him, obviously, when he's off the field of play. But because they've taken off quickly, he probably will continue, hopefully, to come back on and play a very, very serious role.
Well, they've got 15 minutes to assess him, just how bad the damage is. And we'll see. Sneed's inside the 40 this time. He goes for a 40-20. Montalato is there. He touched it. Montalato went back. Ben Cocaine tied it up. Here's Josh bringing it forward again. Leeds Wigan tomorrow. On at 7:45 on Sky Sports 3. And on Saturday, Catalan against Wakefield, 5-4, same channel. The way this is going, it might well be that Wakefield are home and hosed and safe.
They're up for this, and they know it. They know they've been off form for the last 2 weeks. They know they've lost that mojo. They know they've not that encouragement and excitement, but they have been absolutely wonderful so far.
Well, that's the danger of going short side. Whenever you go short side and the opposition's got more numbers, although they could have been penalised for a drag maybe, but the defence, you go short side, you take that risk of being dragged into touch or pushed into touch, and you give that ball away. Mahe Fanua, well, it's just fall off the tackle, Stuart.
Yeah, I don't think there's a problem with Fanua. I think the key about that tackle is that they kept the momentum going all the time. The tackle's complete when the momentum stops. And the whole players kept driving.
Sneed gets the ball away. First ever Super League meeting. Lee Radford was the captain of the Black and Whites. James Webster was captain of Hull Kingston Rovers. That was way back on the 9th of April 2007. 22,000 were here. Hull 22, Hull KR 14 the result. At the moment, it's going the way again of the Black and Whites as Minicello is skirting with the whitewash. He just manages to stay in the field of play. Just. Sneed into centre field to Danny Washbrook. What a season he's having, Danny Washbrook, on his comeback to this team for the second time.
There's no panic about this whole. The build-up is good.
Minicello! It came out of the defender's arms. It was a gift. It was another beautiful little kick from Mark Sneed. The Hull Kingston Rovers defender, I think it was Albert Kelly, was it? Albert Kelly couldn't deal with the ball. It came out of his grasp. And that man, Mark Minicello, over for the latest try. He injured his neck last week, forced from the field last week. Try against Hull KR in the last two magics. It's more magic tonight for Minicello.
Certainly is. Did he lose this ball though, Minicello? Has he got full control of it? Oh, I think he may have lost it. He may have got away with that. Unbelievable, but nothing unbelievable about this. When you've got a man of that ability, Mark Sneed, put the kick in on all the occasions, just keep turning him around. Oh, it was a gift. GIFT for the TRY.
Well, the dangerous Sneed, the kick selection, the pass selection, he attracts the players, they leave some space. And Mark Minicello jogging on the spot, just offering himself like he does week after week. Been a very good signing for Hull FC, Mark Minicello.
Yes, he has, and STEVO has not lost his ability to SPELL. Stuart, did Minicello lose that ball?
No, I don't think he did. I think he managed to keep his fingers on the ball as it was going to ground. So it came from his grasp, but his fingers are always on that. Even though he went down to the ground, that's fine.
Okay, so no problems as far as that is concerned. But problems here for Hull Kingston Rovers. This for an 18-point lead. There you go. 3 out of 3 from Mark Sneed.
Well, the worry for Hull, the worry for Hull KR is they are losing all the little battles. The bounces of the ball are going a different way. You can see from some of the fans in the stand, they're a little bit shocked with the opening 25 minutes. 18-0, I don't think in their worst nightmares they believed that there'd be 3 tries down, 3 converted tries. They need to scratch the opening 25 minutes and get back to the original game plan they set out with.
Wow. Oh, is that lunch?
No, it goes into Donaldson.
It's Donaldson.
Bowden.
He's out like a light there.
You can always tell, just have a little look.
Rigid
The arm
body.
goes stiff, and all of a sudden, the body freezes up.
Well, what a carry from Josh Bowden. He runs with all the intensity and knocks. Oh, he's out like a light.
And immediately Rob Mulhern was asking for treatment.
I must say, I've got to give a lot of credit for the physio. He was on there like a flash. He realised that there was something wrong. Boy, the speed that he got out there, the physio, to make sure that he got and gave attention.
Yeah, you could tell from the sideline, Steve-O, as soon as he goes into that tackle, the ferocious carry from Josh Bowden. When he goes in, Donaldson, well, he'll throw himself into any tackle, any collision. He's not the biggest, but certainly he's got one of the biggest hearts.
The biggest problem, Ted, is that he couldn't get out of the way.
No, just his head hits his hip.
And I can tell you something, as well as it might have been the hip, but I was walking, although the groundsman would probably have a go at me if I tell you this, but I was walking on the pitch just before. It is rock hard, this Kcom Stadium field. It will be watered. It has been watered before the match. Well, I wonder whether we will see anything of James Donaldson. There's still a question mark, of course, over Gareth Ellis for the Black and Whites with a similar injury, bit of concussion.
Gareth Ellis wasn't as bad.
No, not as bad as this.
Donaldson, the way he went down, and as Barry says, his whole body locked up. As soon as you do that, that is a real bad sign. That.
Well, I think you saw when the physio was helping him from the field of play that he shook his head and said, I don't think this fellow will be coming back onto the field of play. And to be quite frankly, I think that's the best thing to do. He looked completely out of it.
Sneyd with a kick downfield. He's gone for a 40-20 here. He's gone for a 40-20 here as Mark Sneyd. He just didn't quite get the bounce. Cockayne is able to pick the ball off. The big question we asked coming up to the Kcom Stadium tonight, had Hull hit the wall? They lost to the bottom two in the last 2 weeks, but they won tight games previously, and Lee Radford does believe that they can fix things up. And after an opening salvo from Hull Kingston Rovers, Hull FC have fixed things up here tonight thus far.
They've regrouped, Teddy. They've realised that they lost that a bit of enthusiasm. Maybe a little bit tired as it gets to the end of the season, but maybe Lee Radford didn't give as much at the training paddock, and he's got to go over there. Oh, he's got it away.
Brilliantly did see how he got that away under extreme pressure. Cockayne was there. He was flattened as he received it by Talanoa. Now here is Kelly. Fires the ball into midfield from Blair, left-footed. It goes up in the air, but that's easy for Jamie Shaw.
That was a poor kick. And the way that the Rovers set themselves up for that kick as well, they really have just lost themselves. They really don't know what's happening both in defence and attack.
Well, we've got lots of medical reports to pick up here. Let's go down to Bill.
There's still no sign of Gareth Ellis, who went off straight to the dressing room, had a bang on the head, was holding his head as he went off, but he didn't look in too bad shape. I'm told on the sidelines he's not in too bad shape, but he still hasn't emerged from the dressing room as yet, and he'll probably pass James Donaldson going in the opposite direction when he does, because the poor kid looked absolutely out of it, totally walloped by that tackle that he put in. But that is James Donaldson for you. I've always thought he punches way above his weight. He is fearless, and this time it's cost him. He really did look groggy. I can't see him coming back.
What a clever kick.
Yes, not quite a 40-20, but tremendous just the same.
Yeah, I mean, the ability to be able to just take it on board, take away the responsibility. Everybody expects Mark Sneyd to be doing all the kicking, but he has got so much intelligence out on the field of play. Danny Houghton, sensational.
Just the vision to know when to jump out of dummy half, kick on the fourth play, know that he's not going to be putting him under any pressure. He's a very talented player, Danny Houghton.
He is. I wonder whether Wayne Bennett will take a chance on him. The thing is, we've got so many good, well, great hookers. And we've got Josh Hodgson playing in the NRL down under, and he's getting rave reviews, apparently.
It's always a position that we've been blessed with, I believe, in Super League. Good English hookers who can really play the game, and Danny Howland's one of them.
Well, they're coughing the ball up here. Hull Kingston Rovers with almost monotonous regularity. That was young George Lawler who lost possession there, and the Black and Whites had it back again.
Back here, boys. Wait.
Well, maybe it was helped along. Sneed's pressure upon him.
Bowden here now for Hull FC.
But James Webster, the Rovers coach, has got to try to sort something out, both in the defence and attack. Look at that, they're coming out of the line, and you see you get a step, and that was easy then.
Good work, Abdul, yes, good work. Houghton is there, 15 metres away from the line, right-hand side. Bowden into centre field to Scott Taylor. Here now is Mark Sneed. Sneed then gives the pass wide. Solid defence this time from Rovers. It had to be as well. Jamie Shaw nowhere to go. Washbrook now will come the short side. Thought about the pass, then thought better of it. Thought about brute force and ignorance. Off he went. Held up just 3 metres shy of the line. Houghton to Sneed. Long kick wide from Sneed.
Not the best.
It was very well taken by Michaels, but it offered the chance for Mantellato to bundle him over the whitewash.
And not surprisingly, the halfback Sneed said, "Sorry, mate, that wasn't the best." And it had a big break cross on this bump.
Well, Steve, that's a mismatch at best. Michaels, I'd say, is a foot and a bit smaller than Mantellato, so if you're going to put it high, Mantellato would have a greater advantage, I would say. It's 18-0. 18-0 in favour of the Black and Whites, and what Hull KR have to do is they have to hold the nerve. They can't afford to sprint out to the line, and we've seen it on a couple of occasions. Hull KR players trying to lift the team, where you've got to stick to your role, stick to the job you've been given, and do it with a greater accuracy.
You have got the feeling that Rovers have to be, from a neutral point of view, have to be the next team to score. Otherwise this could go away from them big style. We're coming up to the half-hour mark. Albert Kelly gets to his feet, and he will play the ball there to George Lawler. And now it's with Mitch Allgood.
You can see, Eddie, every time that Rovers try to put an attack together, that a forward standing in, no one is organising out there, and they've got to. Normally we get Blair and Kelly getting everything organised, but they're not. Kelly's screaming for the ball now, but look, Kelly's so short to him.
With Maurice Blair, he hoists the kick wide, looking for the tall Mantellato.
Oh, what a take!
Wonderful.
Talanoa came up with one on the left, Steve, or Michaels on the right then.
Well, there you go. What do I know? He's just out-jumped Mantellato, hasn't he, Steve Michaels?
Oh, it was a brilliant effort, wasn't it? And it's always dangerous when you let fly.
Mantellato was taken out by a Hull FC player.
I've been impressed with Hull FC defence. They've just missed one tackle in the opening 30 minutes. Hull KR have missed 14. So they've got to make sure they shore that up, they make sure they tie in when the ball goes away. And there's Gareth Ellis talking to another big man, Frank Pritchard, on the bench.
Yeah, Big Frank not in the 17 tonight, but Ellis, looks of that shot we've just taken from him, we might be seeing him again tonight. Great kick, good kick from Sneed, outside the 40. But still, gains some ground.
Eddie, I wonder if this guy, Mark Sneed, plays chess.
He plays snooker, I know that for a fact.
A little bit different.
Snooker's a strategic game, Steve-O. It's not just about potting the red and squaring up for the colour. It's a strategic game, snooker. It might help him in his kicking game.
And there's another England candidate, surely, for the end of the season. Well, he might be talking to John Wells tonight.
He knows how to organise the game, and that's he's been impressive for quite some time. But I still think he'd be better at chess than snooker.
Well, what he's doing in every movement and every action he takes, he's probably 2 or 3 shots in front.
Sean.
Yes, I can see where Barry's coming from.
Good, I'm glad you can.
They are both cerebral games.
One, move seeker!
Correct, you use your brain.
Wait, lads, wait, good.
It's always a treat to be at the side of 2 prop forwards.
You'll learn if you listen closely, Steve-O. I keep telling you this.
Guys, wait. Good.
That was Thornley brought to ground. Here is Mantellato making his way back into Super League, remember.
On the line, boys, and wait. Hold it. Hold on.
He has averaged 10 points per game for Hull Kingston Rovers in his career. Up here in East Yorkshire. That's a steal.
Got to be a penalty. Get it into the corner.
Mark Minicello believes that Adam Walker then raised the white flag.
Do you know, he gives that ball up, he just drops that ball. Adam Walker, yeah, there was hands on.
He did just give up the ball.
Yeah, he did.
I would agree with that. But what does the referee do in that situation?
Nothing, no, he's got the only option.
He's smart. He knew that Minicello's fingers was on it.
It's a gamble, though, when you're 18 points behind.
They need a gamble.
And they've got another penalty here because that ball was stolen from Lawler on the ground by Jordan Thompson.
Now get yourself organised, because it's taken ages for the Rovers to get into any sort of pattern.
What do we
Look,
say?
they're talking to each other now. Who's going to take it? Just one out. Maybe a switch to the blind. Lunt's looking this way.
Penalty try, isn't it? Lunt gets it away to Kelly. Kelly then fires the pass to Maurice Blair. Wonderful defence from Jordan Abdul.
He's a big guy, isn't he, for the standoff, Abdul?
Lunt could run. Ooh, he had to stretch forward for that one.
He's knocked on, no.
I think there's a knock-on in there as well.
Well, Sean Lunt's got out from dummy half a few times, looking at trying to pinpoint one defender to get a runner just going straight and hard.
Not a forward pass, it's a knock-on.
Yeah, knock-on, yeah. Knock-on was called.
Rob Mulherney can't take this ball in. Mark Minicello getting in his eye line, just putting off the young prop forward.
They've had the chances, Rovers. They've
had a couple of chances underneath the sticks with the dummy half, Sean Lunt getting out. They've also dropped the ball over the line with Ken Seo. Three tries that they could have had.
And he knows it as well, James Webster.
He also knows Hull KR are on the way to the middle eights unless they can turn this around.
It's going to be a big deal if they can do it. Nearly me.
Move,
They need 4 aces.
Albert, stand square, ready.
Well, remember on Good Friday, Hull were 20 points in arrears with 20 minutes remaining, and they picked the pockets of the Robins on their own midden.
Well, I just get the impression that Lee Radford will get that message out and say, hey, come on, control it.
Stand up!
And when we keep saying it, but when you've got the likes of Mark Sneed there, controlling things, and this guy, brilliant stuff.
Great run, here's Mark Sneed, he's on his own, surrounded by blue jerseys. They haven't got him first up, now they have. Houghton's run was devastating. Sneed was in support. There's Houghton now at dummy half. Jordan Abdul takes over. A down to the area. Just too long.
Great decision, Eddie. Unfortunately, execution wasn't right, but Ben Cockayne made that tackle, meaning there was a space, an opportunity out the back. You see Jordan Thompson chasing that. I think he's got a great future in the game, Jordan Abdul. He's got a wonderful brain.
Was it a big call tonight for Lee Radford to put Jordan Abdul in and put Leon Price on the bench?
Well, he certainly started playing the opening 34 minutes. He's been good. Defensively, he's been good. He's been giving good options to his half-back partner in Mark Sneed.
Hindsight is a wonderful thing, Terence.
Eddie, I'll tell you now. Jordan Abdul has got youth on his side. He'll work for nearly the entire game. Leon Price hasn't got youth on his side. And let's face it, it's very rare you find him play 80 minutes.
Well, he might play an important part of this match yet, Leon Price. Allgood takes it forward again for Hull KR. It's a while since we've had the last try. We're coming up to the 35th minute. This is the last tackle for Rovers as Kelly fires it to Blair and he gets it wide. Montalato puts the boot to it. That's not a bad effort, actually. That wasn't. That's better. But he still gets over the line, gets the ball over the line to Steve Michaels. Unbelievable. He will play the ball on his own line. Oh, the ball went backwards.
Play on.
He's given the knock on now, Ben Benzela.
Well, Hunting in defence. That's what Hull KR are doing. There's a problem with Albert Kelly. He's not been moving freely for the last set of 6. Took a bang on his leg. Well, that was a bit of luck from Thornley. Goes, puts pressure on Michaels. Michaels just gets over the try line. But the mistake then follows. So Hull KR, decent field position. Needs to come up with some points though. Good pressure from Thornley. Really gets into Sikamanu as he tries to dislodge that ball when he brings it away. And the pressure's on now for Hull FC. Can they contain Hull KR?
So here comes the Rovers again, and Cockayne is cut down by Kirk Yeaman. Wanted a quick play the ball, got it in the end to Ken Seo. Seo a little hop, skip and a jump before he gets in front of the defenders.
Rovers need this try. So have any chance to go in at half-time with any hope of success in the second stanza.
Here's Albert Kelly having a second go. Blair gets it wide. This is Clarkson, spins away from 1, spins away from 2, gives the ball then to Maurice Blair again, and he then says to Rob Mulherney to go, but this solid defence, Ellis is preparing to come back, as Clarkson has a dash for the line, releasing the ball backwards. It's play on, this is Lunt. Lunt then gets it to Adam Walker. Adam Walker is
no second phase. If you're going to throw a dummy, turn on Got to back up the man with the ball.
Maurice Blair, it nearly opened up for Maurice Blair. It has! And the door is quickly slammed shut. He keeps the ball alive, though. Allgood picks it up. And that's good defence again. The ball goes backwards. Touched by black and white hand, I think. Is it 6 to go? It should be. Kelly! Kelly! Oh! So close! Oh!
He dropped it. He dropped it. He's play on. This could be a try on the other end.
Yes, here comes the counter. Talanoa. Good scrambling back by Ben Crockane.
Was it ever the full-back? Boy, did he get some speed up there to stop it. Well, that was dramatic, but it's a better scene from the Rovers. Okay, they're testing their arm. Maybe that one just shake them into doing something a little bit more like that. Take a gamble. 18-0 down, and this is how close Kelly was.
Would have been a golden 4 points, that. This is Sika Manu.
3. Move, Chris!
So close.
Wonderful tackle by Jamie Shaw.
He's been good in this game, and another player that's been good, Mark Sneyd, just looks like he's having to leave the pitch. You've got to bang on the head after that frenetic play.
Where do boys go?
We'll have to get an update on his situation. They need him, the black and whites.
Oh, there's a lot of work needed here by Kencio. He can't do it. He's trapped in goal. Goal line dropout coming up, and Leon Price is the man who has replaced Mark Sneyd.
Well, Jordan Abdul, he had to step up to the mark, didn't he? Knowing that Mark Sneyd, the go-to man, has had to leave the pitch. Good defence, 3 Hull FC defenders in front of him. And Hull KR, when they were attacking Hull FC's line, it seemed like they were making it up as they went along. There was a shot of Sean Lump behind dummy half, waving to his teammates. What's going on? What's going on, boys? I need someone to tell me what's happening. When Hull FC are attacking Hull KR's line, there's so many different attacking options.
For 20 rounds so far this season, Hull have had wonderful fortune in terms of injuries. They've been able to remain same again on quite a number of occasions. The big worry for the black and white supporters, for the black and white coach Lee Radford, is that it doesn't unravel as we approach the Super 8s.
Well, it's a big problem with Mark Sneyd off the field of play, but that's another reason why the Hull coach perhaps threw out Jordan Abdul there, because he took the role of the kick. He'll control the kicking game from here on in, and so will this fella.
Jordan Thompson takes the ball forward. Solid work by the Hull FC forwards. This is Houghton. He gets it away to Abdul again. Short ball from him. Mahe Fanua is brought down. They're 5 metres away from the line, though. Back it comes then to Thompson. Thompson finds Leon Price. First touch from him. He finds Ellis back on the field, as I say. Down he goes again. They're 5 away from the line. 4 tackles gone. Houghton will come left. Finds Price. Price with a pass forward.
Yeah, delayed it. Leon Price looked a little bit stunned, but he was very, very slow to offload this, and you can see quite clearly. No need to have anybody assistance on the touch judge. And this is perhaps where Sneyd has got the injury. He looked okay then, and then it seemed as though...
Discipline, boys, let's keep it going.
He struggled a little bit in the back end of that game last week against Leeds. Once or twice he went down, he was clutching maybe his hamstring, a little bit of cramp, and you can see there's a head clash. He's not been happy.
We're there, Albert. Time's off. Leon, make sure they're stay on.
Not been happy with that challenge.
First we lose Gareth Ellis, and now Mark Sneyd, 2 very, very important cogs in this black and white outfit.
And Hull here will lose some valuable ground in their opponent's half of the field, because this was a high shot.
You know, when it comes to the serious end of the season, Eddie, it's times like this, okay? Hull FC, they're leading 18-0. You don't want to give away silly penalties 30, 40 metres upfield. This is where you've got to concentrate and make it important that you can lay down the gauntlet to all the other teams in Super League and say that we are the one. And when you come up with silly things like that, they'll say you ain't the one.
Inside the last 30 seconds of this first half, Rovers coming forward. What would they give with a try to take with them to half-time? But they won't. After tackling like that from Talanoa and Yeeman.
You can't go anywhere with defence like that, can you?
He's there again, Yeeman.
He's outstanding. I mentioned it earlier, the fact, okay, he may have lost a little bit of speed, but the way he picks them out, I mean, he doesn't just tackle them, he crunches them.
Come on, boys.
Don't think they're going to get this play the ball in. No, they won't. Half-time siren sounds in the background, and well, he will be reasonably impressed, I think. Lee Radford started a bit frenetically from the Black and White's point of view. Rovers had a chance or two. Minicello, the third try scorer. Houghton got another. Watts got the first. Ken Sio, remember, had a glorious opportunity to give Rovers the lead early. And from that moment, really, here at the KCOM Stadium, Hull FC 18, Hull Kingston Rovers 0. Quite a feat that by Phil Mickelson at Troon. Mind you, I had a 62 the other week. I didn't play the back nine though, Steve. Decided to call it a day.
That doesn't That's why I never play with you.
Right, Rovers have to do something here. They have to almost set up a new course record on this ground for themselves to come back from 18-0 down at half-time to preserve their hopes of making the Super 8s, but at the moment the trapdoor is creaking underneath them of the middle 8s.
Yeah, it won't be easy. James Webster, I do hope he gave him the round of the kitchen, because they really were very, very poor both in defence and any lacked ideas in an attacking movement.
Look, guys, wait here, wait!
That was the problem, Steve. No one was taking control. They've got enough willing workers. They've been falling off tackles in the first half, but someone needs to take control.
Like this fella, for the Black and Whites. Houghton is outstanding.
He's had a great game, and so is Abdul alongside him, and he manages to release that ball.
Oh, he's knocked on.
Well, we've cursed him. We've cursed him.
It happens.
Yeah, guys.
Well, in the first half, they were completing near 80%. They weren't making mistakes like that. But Jordan Abdul, the confidence that he must go into the second half with because of his first half performance. I agree with you, lads. He's been absolutely brilliant. But Danny Houghton, so focused, has so much desire and plays with so much commitment.
Stay on side. Heads in, Sean, Jamie. Stay there.
The Rovers will get head and feet at the scrum, midway inside their own half of the field. Have to do something pretty special in this second half. They really will.
Well, I'm sure Lee Radford, the Black and White coach, will be extremely happy with the way that they've controlled the game, and that's so important. You know, they've known when to just turn the tempo down, play the ball very quickly when they need it to, and they caught the Rovers' defence so many times.
Thomas Minns will play the ball here. Lunt finds Kelly in centre field. Adam Walker taking it forward again, but Gareth Ellis standing there. Houghton standing there, but the ball has slipped away by Walker to Sean Lunt. And Lunt is looking for a little bit of support. It finally arrives. In the shape of Chris Clarkson, he goes down. Lunt waits at dummy half into centre field. Here comes Mulhern now. That's a good run from him. Now then, can they build on this, the last tackle? They need another set at least. Looking for something better with Thornley. Gets the ball away somewhat untidily to Montalato. A hack kick forward by Montalato. Shaw is after it. Montalato gets to him. It's about as good as they could hope for, because there wasn't much there.
That was very, very poor indeed.
It was a sloppy end to the set of six. Ben Kane's come round on a sweeping line. The ball misses him, and that could have created the numbers. That could have given them an opportunity if they put the ball through their hands.
Let's get down to Bill Arthur for the half-time news, Bill.
Eddie, first of all, good to see James Donaldson literally just walk out of the tunnel just a second ago and come and take a seat in the Rovers dugout. He's in his civvies, got a baseball cap on, and I should imagine he's got a headache, because he really did get a fearful clatter in that first half, and there was very little chance of him coming back on. Fortunately for Hull FC, Mark Sneed, who got a bit of a knock just before half-time, was taken off as a precaution. He's obviously, as you can see, okay to go on, and Gareth Ellis likewise, both of those two coming through after their head knocks. Now then, Rovers obviously know that this start of the second half is crucial to their prospects. They've done it once before against Hull FC. They need to do it again, and pretty rapidly, and they're not going to do it with the completion rate they had in that first half. They realise that, so the target is a much better completion rate. Cut out the errors, stop giving away the penalties, and then maybe they can build some pressure. Hull FC are aware of that. They know that their defence has got to be up to the mark.
They'll look to touch forward from Lunt, but they got away with it.
Yes, they're still in possession. It is now with Ian Thornley. Just drops the ball onto the boot. Habs it to the corner. Shaw was across there quickly. tackled by
Stand Josh,
Montalato. You know, they have a
Hold
great
it.
record
Hold.
here, Hull Kingston
Hold.
Rovers. Last defeat on this ground almost 2 years ago. 0-28. Well, the way things are going in this match so far, they still have a 0 against them, and Hull have got 18, so close to repeating that score. It'll be the last thing Hull KR want.
Hull KR are very loose around the ruck. The wingers are defending outside their men. When you're defending up there near the opposition's line, you can cram in. That's when you can bully the opposition. You can get 3 and 4 men into the tackle, and there's a problem with Jamie Shaw, the Hull FC fullback. But this is where you get off the line, aggressive line speed, and look to just intimidate and turn the opposition around.
But that's better defence, and he's easy to where the fullback has picked up a bit of an injury, with a bit of a strained knee.
They're still struggling as Jamie Shaw way back at the end of the field as Ken Seo runs this ball back.
And Eddie, that kick and that chase probably exemplifies the difference between these two teams. We've had 2 ends to the sets of 6 by Hull KR that have been sloppy at best. Unorganised is probably a better word to describe them. Ian Thornley putting the latest kick in. But you see a long kick, a good chase, and a very strong defensive effort off the back of it.
Back here, Seeker. Good.
Cocaine from dummy half. He has Tilse on his shoulder.
Move, Seeker!
Tilse is met by a solid tackle from Sika Manu. Now here is Mitch Allgood.
Well, much better. We can play the ball. Running on that very short run.
Down the left-hand side they come here. It's Thornley looking to get the ball away. He does. On the bounce from the bobble to Cocaine. Blair with a crossfield kick. Now then, this could be very interesting. It is interesting. The ball was knocked backwards. Mark Sneed picks it up.
Did well, Sneed.
Well, there was a chance there for Rovers.
There certainly was, and it was a good kick by Blair. But well worked by Sneed. He knew he was going for the whitewash. Now they've got to keep the black and whites way down in their own quarter. Try to force the error, and that's better defence.
Movement! Yeah, that's 2. Back here, lads.
Houghton puts the ball away to Abdul. Oh, nice ball. Steve Michaels. Michaels tries to go inside. Cocaine, he does. Maurice Blair came back with an important tackle, trying to delay the play, the ball. That was fine. Manua. This now is Abdul. Abdul gets the ball away again to Sika Manu. They're stretched down the other side, Rovers, but Hull couldn't get the ball out there.
Great work by Jordan Abdul.
Houghton, long raking pass to Sneed. Short then from him to Minicello. Minicello! Second try for Mark Minicello. And Hull FC are on their way back to the top of the first Utility Super League table. And Hull Kingston Rovers look like they're going to be confined to the middle eights for the 2nd year in a row.
Tremendous build-up. All came about with that kick and chase as well. Put the pressure on. The Rovers could not respond to put themselves in a good field position. And when Minicello started tiptoeing through the tulips, the Rovers defence were just all at sea. Look at the offload there in the break. Nice little step as well. Good work there by Michaels. And then this is sensational. 2 steps off the left. Oh boy, tremendous.
Well, Steve, they're stretching the defensive line of the Robins. They're piercing the defensive line of the Robins, and they're giving them too many questions. And the red and whites don't have enough answers, and it could, with 48 minutes on the clock, 22-0 down, it could get a little bit ugly unless the Robins manage to shore up that defence. And as I say, get back to the plan and the strategy that they set out with.
Mark Minicello. Well, he was forced off the field injured last week. And 259 appearances in the NRL. Here he is now, helping Hull to go back to the top of the table tonight. And playing his part in what has been an excellent season so far. And after 2 defeats in a row, tonight, showing signs that they aren't unravelling after all. Sneed to add the extras. This for 24 points to 0. And surely a bridge too far for Hull Kingston Rovers. There he goes, Sneed. adds the extras. Let's get down to Bill. Injury news, Bill.
Yeah, it's good news for Hull FC, at least it is for the moment, because Jamie Shaw, who went down in back play as that try was being scored, he's got a bang on the hip by the look of things. They've been manipulating him while Sneed was lining up that goal kick, and Shaw is continuing. I tell you what, it's fascinating down here on the sidelines, because Leon Price is not far away from me. He's only played a few minutes just before half-time when Mark Sneed came off. But if he's not on the pitch, he might as well be, because he is going through it all.
I bet he is. Bill, can I just give you a little lesson in the Sneed chant? It's Sneed. Can you manage that?
Move, George!
I think he's gone away to practice.
I think he is. He's practicing.
Well, Danny Houghton, he delivers that pass out wide to Mark Sneed. It's the width of the pass that's really getting to Hull FC. Playing outside the tight three defenders. And Mahe Fanua on this right edge as well. He's causing problems. They're pulling the trigger, they're biting in, they're creating space on this edge.
Yeah, it's pretty handy, isn't it? Fanua, that's the second little flick.
Thompson.
The offside. Good work. This man works overtime.
Yes, he does. Last tackle, though, they have reached the black and whites with Houghton. Here is Abdul. Abdul gets it wide to Fanua.
Play on. Move! Well, just lots of plot there. I'm not so sure that Lee Ratford will be happy with that.
Montalto and Thornley just a little slow to get to their feet. Referee just calls time off for a second, gives them the opportunity to recover.
I know they're leading 24-0, but it's little things like that Lee Ratford has to make sure that this Hull FC side realise that you've got to not just panic and do things like that. You've got to really finish them off. Be professional. Make sure, when you've got the likes of Abdul and Mark Sneed, you've got to utilise them and make sure you get the kick and chase.
Yeah, I think though, Steve-O, at 24 points to 0, you can excuse them. There's another mistake from Hull KR and Albert Kelly. You have to excuse them for just trying things.
There's no excuse for it at all. We're coming to the business end of the season, and as far as I'm concerned, if you are going to frighten your opposition and want to get to the Old Trafford, then it's going to be a problem. You've got to finish teams off. You've got to be professional right the way through for 80 minutes to have any chance to get to Old Trafford.
Bill, we've just seen Jamie Shaw going off. What's the news?
Yeah, I didn't think he was going to last very long. They got him patched up and he carried on for a few minutes, but he obviously was in a lot of discomfort, and Jamie Shaw has come off, and Leon Price can just let rip some of that energy now. I think he'll be going into full-back, presumably, but he's out there anyway and already issuing a few instructions.
Eddie, what you can't excuse is making mistakes, simple errors from just passing the ball. And we saw with Albert Kelly, they're now under pressure. They've given away a penalty, so if they've been in good field position, attacking Hull in their own half, all of a sudden they make a mistake, they give a penalty away, and they're the team that's under pressure.
So Danny Houghton will restart this 25 metres away from the Rovers line, and Gareth Ellis will take the ball forward. The black and whites, the real deal. 2016. Can they go all the way? They're still alive on three fronts, as are Wigan. Oh, here is another try for Michaels. I think the answer is yes. I think the answer is yes. Steve Michaels with the try. Oh, hello. Hello, it's all on.
Cover in, boys. Ready?
Frustration boiling over for Hull KR. A mountain of bodies on the field, and the referee and his touch judges will have to try and sort this out.
Well, there's something happen when Fanua passes the ball.
Why are you two on your feet and cheering?
Stuart, talking to Stuart and Steve over there.
Talking to you two.
Boys, go let it, please.
Bring back the Biff.
Well, Derby games.
McDermott, no comment.
Derby games, there's always some passion on short. Hull KR, Hull FC. I think there's a late shot on Mahe Fanua when he passes this ball.
Has he given the try, Stuart?
Is it a late hit?
I don't think he's awarded the try yet. To be honest, I don't think there's a great deal in that tackle. Again, we see it in slow motion, all the speed, he's committed to that tackle. That's why the ball was taken out to the winger. We'll award the try, I don't think we'll do anything with it.
Yeah, it was pretty high from the fullback, Ben Cockayne. It's sheer frustration. Wonderful work yet again from Fanua. ability to switch to the blind side. This is the set pattern move. And you can see that the Rovers defence, no idea. As soon as Fanua offloads it, switch back. Wonderful stuff. Nice finish as well.
Lovely, and it's Steve Otis. Synergy, the organisation, and old Ben Cockayne goes in hard. He has an impossible decision to make. It's two attackers versus one defender. He thinks, I'm going to clout the ball. I'm going to hit the man who has the ball and not take the chances and hope some cover can come. Unfortunately for the Rovers fans, it doesn't. The black and white's through. Michael's get another try, and this job is just made that little bit harder.
The sound of Old Faithful ringing around the KCOM Stadium.
It's a tremendous atmosphere, isn't it, Eddie? And Thursday nights, it's a privilege to be part of such a fabulous atmosphere. They always bring it, the whole fans.
Well, they've got the semi-final to come against Wigan. They have 7 games to come after next week in the Super 8s. If they get in the top 4, they'll have a semi-final in that as well. And I wonder if they're going back to Old Trafford for the first time since 2006. Mark Sneed.
Back on.
Oh, he's a kicker. He is a kicker. Man of Steel candidate.
He's not just a kicker, he's a player. All the players piling in, taking exception to that tackle from Ben Cockayne on Mahe Fanua. And a man who does wear his heart on his sleeve, that man. He's been in so many battles. I look at him saying, look, this is what we do, this is what we do, come on boys. When Lee Radford played, he was straight in the middle of those brawls, wasn't he?
He wasn't a bad boxer either.
He's got a lovely toothless smile on it. It's nice to see him enjoying the match.
Alright, let's keep it going.
Well, it's a lot of pressure for the players, but even more so for the coaches. Remember, Lee Radford early in the season, the players asked him to leave the dressing room. They wanted a few things to sort out. And I tell you what, they've done it.
There was no dramas in that, by the way.
They play for him, though, don't they? You can tell that when you spend time with the players and you listen to what they say. They're right behind Lee Radford. And what he lacks for in experience, he makes up for in passion and backing his players.
Well, it certainly worked. The players sorted it out. As you said, there was no insult to Lee Radford.
And that's the fight that you want to see from Hull KR. Fight to play that ball. A good run from Tilt.
Trouble is, it's a little bit late at 30-0.
Lunt gets the ball away. Blair, he finds Cockayne, come wide. It's Montalato. The tackle by Michaels. Try score at one end, try sabre at the other. Thornley. It was an untidy pass to Maurice Blair.
But look at the whole defence. Talk about man on man. Come on, show us what you can do.
Lunt again. That's a ball away. That's a good run from Adam Walker. And Adam Walker gets Hull Kingston Rovers on the board at last. 90th appearance for Hull Kingston Rovers for the Scottish international Adam Walker. 294 carries prior to tonight. There was another, and that produces his second try of the season.
Great work by the big fella, Adam Walker. He came onto it on the angle. Boy, nothing was going to stop him. It looked like a wheelbarrow full of bricks. He just went bang, straight through.
And it come off a couple of great carries. Dane Tills and Sergeant Slaughter, a.k.a. Rob Mulhern. They made a dent in the line, and the big fella scores his try off the back of it.
Montalato adds the extras. 30 points to Hull, 6 to Hull KR.
Well, Sean Lunt's been asking questions, getting out from dummy half. That is a very good line, straight behind the run. He wrong foots Gareth Ellis, he steps off his right foot, he spots the gap behind the play of the ball. But you can see the damage is done from Sean Lunt. A couple of occasions he blew 2 chances in the first half. But Adam Walker, well, he doesn't blow that chance there.
Well, from the side, it looked marginal. From behind, it looked perfectly legal and okay. But we'll give the benefit of the doubt to Adam Walker and Hull KR.
Something for Jamie Peacock, Phil Lowe to smile about at last. Back down to Bill.
Move, Jordan! Hold it here, boys, and wait for it. Tapping him in. Play on!
I think he's still practising his Mark Sneed chant.
I think he's fallen out with it. Simple as that.
Now.
To move Leon! Wait here, guys. Wait, boys.
Nobody
wait,
falls
Dan.
out with me, Steve-O. Well,
You stood next to him.
3. Move, Danny!
right, Bill's back from the practice. Bill.
Eddie, mystery solved. It's if you look at Hull as they line up in defence now. Mark Sneed. Any better?
No,
Who's at fullback?
awful.
I think you've got to be out there in the crowd to really let rip with that.
No, you can be up here and let rip with it.
Knock up.
Ball's dropped by Adam Walker. No, it was stolen.
Well, they're getting some calls now, Hull KR. Coming off the back of a try. Adam Walker, the try scorer. Well, as Sikamanu goes to affect that tackle, his arms are in.
Yeah, there's no doubt that it's a steal.
I'd say it's a loose carry though, that, Steve-O. You've got to have more control over that ball when you go into a tackle. The defender's always going to hit you with everything.
Manu had his arm in, dragged it out, penalty.
Well, Kingston Rovers will not be arguing. George Lawler takes it forward, first tackle.
Well, at least they're not embarrassed. They've got 6 points. Maybe they can turn it to 12.
Dane Tilts was looking to offload that to Sean Lunt. In the end, he thought better of it. Very close again to the Hull FC line. Lunt running laterally. Oh. And the pass came off the head.
Well, this will be classified as a knock-on.
Rob Mulhern with a header. Well,
it was too tough, that
low
ball.
head.
It was too tough to catch. The speed of the ball, straight in front of Mark Minicello.
Off the chest.
Says they've gone that front door option a lot during this night. We've already seen that it bird some fruit for Adam Walker, but most of the times when the players have caught it, got absolutely hammered.
Wait there, guys. Let's banker.
Well, we've got this, the first of the round 22 tomorrow. Leeds and Wigan, 7:45. Sky Sports 3, repeat of last year's grand final. Wakefield can travel to Perpignan, safe in the knowledge that they are in the Super 8s at the moment. 24 points behind for Rovers to fight their way back into this match.
I think they're pretty safe. Wakefield.
3. Move, James!
Haven't they done well when you think about it? The problems have gone through, injuries.
And you wouldn't criticise Chris Chester for having a wry smile.
He'll have more than a wry one.
Taylor gets it away to Ellis.
5. Away,
Ellis goes down, tackle number 5, 25 metres away from the Rovers line. It's Abdul. And Sneed puts the ball on his toe, stabs it to the line. Cocaine gets it so far, spins and then gets it away to Mantellato.
Got real big stride, hasn't he, Mantellato?
Play on, go.
Couldn't really get into top gear. Oh, that he just pulled the arm down then.
Here, go, Ellie.
It's Scott Taylor, wasn't it? Yes, it was. Taylor getting himself back into the defensive line now. Here's Lunt.
It's a good job that Taylor just thought about it and dropped the arm.
The game won't give in, I'll tell you. He's a real competitor. That's Kelly. Short ball, good ball. 2. He only found James Greenwood. It was a good tackle.
By Price. It's got to be a penalty because Price, you've got to move out of the play the ball area. That's the law.
You're offside.
And you fail to do it.
Penalty.
Well, it's a good run from Greenwood. He leaves Leon Price on the floor, and just have a little look at Sean Lunt. Lunt plays for that penalty. Just pushes the ball through his legs, saying that he can't pick up the ball cleanly because that man's interfering.
Go.
Innocence on the face of Leon Price. This is George Lawler.
Move, Danny, 1. Wait here, guys.
Sean Lunt
boys, 1. Wait here.
at dummy half, 12 metres away.
Jamie, get inside.
Tilts again. Walker, the try scorer.
Well, it's all a matter of pride now as far as the Rovers are concerned. Give their supporters at least something to cheer about. They haven't had much tonight.
Blair to Kelly. Oh, charged down by Leon Price. That will be play on.
And Sean Lunt was on then with Liam Watts in the background. When he gets out and he looks to put that play on where he pulls in the defender, Liam Watts is hitting with everything.
Did well there, Price. That was a pretty harsh kick as well.
Steve-O, Jamie Shaw's gone off, and the rotation between Leon Price, Mark Sneed, just dropping into full-back, drifting into the line. Just adds that variety of attack and keep changing the point of the attack from the black and whites.
Move, Dave!
I've been impressed with the way that the Black and Whites have shared the workload as well.
Bowden here. A high shot by Greenwood.
High tackle by Greenwood.
Sheer frustration.
Careful, James.
He's played hard, as he always does, James Greenwood.
Ex-Wiganer, Greenwood, he made his Super League debut for Wigan against Hull 2013. Mark Sneyd will dump that ball into touch deep in Rovers territory. They will come again as we enter the final quarter. In fact, we're well into the final quarter. We've 19 minutes remaining. Bowden will take it forward again.
Minicello will be looking for the hat-trick.
Dane!
Yes, he will.
Go.
Houghton. Sneyd. Abdul.
2. Movement!
Wrestled to the ground
boys, discipline, guys. 2.
by Blair.
Go.
Here is Price.
Okay.
And, oh, well, he's dropped that. Fanua.
Yep.
He's under pressure from Lawler. He cuts back inside. The youngster hits him, loses the ball. We've got some strong centres, Hull FC and Fanua and Yeaman. In fact, you look across the outside backs, you can put Michaels in there, Talanoa, and then when Jamie Shaw gets the ball in open play, so many dangerous players.
Hey, first half, come on, where do we?
It's remarkable to see, Kirk Yeaman. We've mentioned throughout this game.
Keep the discipline, boys.
He's come back, he went off
Sean,
form.
head in.
And then, of course, but his defence over the last few weeks has been outstanding. A real asset to this Black and White side.
Well, collectively, they have been working hard this week, obviously, because their defeat to Leeds last week was their first home defeat after 7 straight wins. The first on home soil since March. 6 defeats for Hull FC all year, and would you believe 5 of them we have had our cameras trained on them, but they still roll the red carpet out for us nonetheless.
Yeah, it's amazing how a stat like that, quite a lot of the teams become TV shy. Tonight, this has been a good effort, and I'm sure that Lee Ratford, the coach, will be very, very pleased, especially with the way that the forwards have kept it very tight in the defence around the play-the-ball area. We haven't seen much.
Cocaine to Montalato. Has he got the strength to get over the line?
Send it over.
No, he hasn't.
Mark Sneyd playing at full-back proves that he can save them as well as provide and score them. Montalato, 6'4", 6'5". He jumps up high, clamps the ball and prevents the big fella. I thought Chris Clarkson, when he released Ben Cocaine, had created the overlap. Hull FC with a tremendous appetite, not only in attack but in defence.
He's a great all-round player. You've got to admire him for that. His kicking style is quite unique. But he really has been instrumental, especially in that first stanza, when his kicking game really just sent the Rovers back time and time again.
Move, James! George,
British-English halfback in Super League. Now, is this a 40-20 attempt from Danny Houghton? It's been called so by Ben Thaler.
It doesn't matter if he goes touchline. The kick and chase tonight from Hull FC has been outstanding, and the man who kicked it, look who's first there. He has had an outstanding game as Danny Houghton.
You've just got to react to what your teammate does in a game. For Danny Houghton to kick on the third play, his teammates then get on board, and it makes that kick into a very good kick.
Yes, he's Super League's top tackler again.
Discipline.
Danny Houghton this year.
38 on this game alone.
4.
He just never, ever gives up.
Stand with it, boys. 4.
Actually, a lot of the hookers have to do a lot of work, don't they? Roby does at St Helens, of course. Danny Houghton does here, and Sam Powell does.
When they play in the middle of the park, they're targeted by the big fellas. If they're running down that middle channel, they're always going to pick one of the smaller players.
Great take by Sneyd.
Yeah, nice offload as well.
Here goes Steve Michaels through 1, almost through 2. Lawler wrestles him to the ground. Well, I think the fans were a little disgruntled, a little concerned last week when the Black and White surrendered their lead and the Rhinos beat them. But Leeds played very well on the night, and I think that Lee Radford has worked hard this week and training with his players. And well, there's nothing better than a derby, is there, to
Yeah,
get yourselves back on the horse.
But the most important thing as far as this is concerned is the way that they have controlled this game for most of the 80 minutes.
With kicks like that from Sneyd.
Sensational. He's a key player.
But everything's on the front foot for Hull FC. There was pressure in the first half when he was going at the line, he was getting some shoves in his back. But now in the second half, as the game's going away from you, just 15 minutes to go, he can take them extra couple of steps, he can pull the Hull KR line up, and then he can just drop the ball onto his toe and kick it out of play. That's the management part of his game that's improved over the years.
He'll be talking to John Wells, unless there's a massive comeback from Hull KR in the last 15 minutes of this match.
He'll be talking to John Wells, don't worry about that.
Leeds, Huddersfield, Salford, and it looks like Hull Kingston Rovers then in the middle eights. They went out of the cup against Oldham. Remember, Hull Kingston Rovers this year, Leigh, London, Halifax, Batley or Bradford, with the bottom four of Super League after the 23rd round. It'll be a real scrap to the finish.
And those are the unforced errors that have unfortunately hurt the Robins tonight. Under no pressure, the ball is slightly behind Chris Clarkson, but it doesn't give him the right to drop that. And James Webster, he knows that there are a lot of harsh lessons, and when you learn those harsh lessons in front of your nearest and dearest, it hurts just that little bit more. But they've been beaten in the small aspects, every tiny little facet of the game. Hull KR have been second best to the Black and Whites machine.
Yeah, and James Webster fully aware that the fundamental skills have deserted them tonight.
What, you want a drink?
There's an expression that fatigue makes cowards of us all, and Hull KR at the minute, they look very fatigued. They've been defending for most of the line and under pressure.
They're under pressure again here because Michaels is in for his second try. And that really does wrap it up. Steve Michaels has been on the wing for 7 in a row now. He got 2 tries in the 22-12 win at Hull Kingston Rovers this time last year. The match-winning try against Rovers on Good Friday. And for Lee Radford and the black and white supporters, he is a hero already for all that he's done in the big city derbies.
Well, a winger loves nothing better than to have a centre of the quality of Fanoa. This is outstanding. That's about the 4th pass that we've seen, one-handed. Has given the winger plenty of opportunity. On 2 occasions he scored. On 2 other occasions just didn't get it right. Excellent play by the centre for Noah.
It's powerful, isn't he? Just if you have a little look at Ian Thornley, the man who's defending against him, he's bouncing around, he's flat-footed, he tries to just overpower him, then all of a sudden gives it the big see you later, and that's his pet play. He holds the ball, he offloads it, as soon as he's drawn in the winger, and that man, Steve Michaels, he knows exactly what his teammate's going to do. If he holds decent shape, his centre partner will provide him with that pass.
34 points to 6. And lovely ball at the back.
Oh, the cruel black and white fans, aren't they? They're singing, "We can see you sneaking out," to those red and whites behind the sticks. They've had a torrid night. They can be forgiven for thinking, "I'll get an early dart, avoid the queue." Well, no chance. The black and whites won't let them get away with it.
Well, a lot of them are staying put, and well done to them for that. No, they haven't all gone. I remember, Barry, once upon a time I suggested that some supporters were heading for the exits because we had a shot of a man disappearing at Huddersfield, I think it was, and he emailed me and said he was actually off to the loo at the time. He wasn't going home at all. So we were wrong to point the finger at them. So be careful, Barry, you might be on the end of some emails tonight. That was a great kick again from Steve.
I was just merely pointing out the song and the added humiliation that the black and whites will enjoy. And I'm sure the backs will talk about the skills of Mahe Fanoa and the finesse, but it's the power and just the ability to use what he's got to the greatest advantage and provide Shaun Michaels with the rewards he's got tonight.
That's a knock on, and obviously Mark Sneyd could not touch that, otherwise he would have been in an offside position. So Hull KR have got the ball back with Rob Mulhern. He got it away to Maurice Blair.
0. 0, yeah.
That's the 0 tackle, rules Ben Thaler. So 6 to go from here. Clarkson, that was high from Westbrook.
Okay, calm down.
Didn't miss him either.
The right tackle, Dan. What's the tackle,
We
boys?
should get a little bit of a ticking off from Ben Thaler.
Right. Scott,
Doing
come
it.
on. Go.
Might give him one on the run.
Here's Clarkson again, taking it forward once more, despite the tackle that rattled the timbers.
Go.
Lunt, busy. Mins gets it to Kelly, it goes wide and off the fingertips of Talanoa. It's going to be head and feed
Go, boys,
to
here.
Hull KR.
When it's knocked on.
Yeah, when you're in such a commanding lead,
Time off, boys.
you can take that risk. If it was a close contest, of course,
Yes,
Lee
guys,
Ratford, the coach, would
Keep this discipline, boys.
several words to say to him in the dressing room, but he's so far in front. You say, well, I'll take
Okay,
the
boys,
gamble.
wait there, please, Albert. I'll tell you when. Time's
Next
off.
instalment
Stay
in
there,
our
Kurt.
great series,
Okay.
NRL The Rookie,
Out, back
where
on, Steve.
contracts on the line with an NRL club down under in Australia, follows us tonight.
Move, Jordan! We're here, boys. Back here.
When
Back here,
Cocaine thought
go.
about getting into dummy half, then Lunt pushed him out the way. Here goes Rob
2.
Mulhern.
Move, Scott!
He's
Right,
ran strong.
boys,
Him
2.
and Walker have not shirked turning in their responsibilities.
Lunt to Thomas Mins, gets the ball away. Here
3. Move, man!
to Lawler.
Right, boys, 3.
Talking of contracts on the line, Eddie,
Go.
I'm sure that Hull Kingston Rovers may be having a look at some of their players.
Okay.
They haven't impressed tonight, that's for sure.
Ian Thornley. No way through
4.
for him.
Move,
Price
Leon!
first of all sorted that.
4. Go.
Cocaine. Back the ball comes and a little fumble on show then from Matty Marsh.
5 away, Scott! Danny
Breach tackle
Square!
5, 1 to go then.
Wait.
For Rovers.
Go.
They try and breach this defence again. And was that touched by the black and whites? Referee hasn't wiped the tackle count down yet. Kelly stabs the kick in. Hack forward, hack forward, hack forward. And Minicello has it. He's got a pinch from him, but there were 2 men in the tackle there. And now, well, something has been said out of turn, obviously. That was as plain as the nose on your face.
Yeah, Greenwood didn't like it. Neither did Ben Thaler.
They're putting an awful lot of pressure on themselves. Hull KR, they're not finishing off the sets well. They're taking the ball in, they're driving the ball in when they should be really asking more questions.
That's unlucky. James Greenwood, he thinks he's got hold of the ball. And frustration is rightly penalised.
I'll be very quiet about you. Keep it cool.
And they're now under pressure near their own line again. Greenwood, another player that's tried his best. Unfortunately, they're well short tonight.
And Ben Thaler's just said to James Greenwood, I'd be very quiet if I was you. That was an untidy pass from Houghton. Not Danny Houghton-like at all. But Talanoa turned it into something.
That's why I like Ben Thaler as a referee, Eddie. He'll have a little word with the players while the game is going on. Just calm things down, etc., etc., etc.
3 movement! Line boys, discipline! Go. 3.
Here is Houghton. Houghton then to Taylor.
Was that you in
4.
that, Phil?
Move! Hit the line, guys, and wait! 4th one.
Houghton waits again.
Go,
3
Benny!
metres short of the line. This is Sneed, dabs the ball, Dingle there. Too long. Too long. I'm trying to think what the film was, Barry. Can you remember what it was?
Time off. Time off, Steve.
Well before Barry's time.
It is before my time. I know it was an ugly bald man, so...
It must be Steve then.
Discipline,
The
boys.
King and I, was that it?
Yes, it was the
Yeah,
King and I.
thank you. Good memory.
Yul Brynner is alongside us there.
Yul Brenner.
Move, Danny! Wait, boys.
He's let
Dan,
himself
don't worry.
go.
Wait here, boys. Wait, boys, wait. Good.
What about 2 stone on?
Yes,
Surrender 2.
couple of stone.
Stand,
Has
Scott,
to be
ready,
lost
Jordan.
by,
Wait, boys. Go. 2.
The end of the season for somebody. This is Adam Walker.
2.
Not me.
No, not you. Maurice Blair.
3. Move, Dan! Back here, Danny.
Well, it's amazing.
Back
I
here,
spoke
Jordan.
to quite a few of the LFC fans before we came into the stadium, and they were not.
I bet you did.
They were not all that. They were not all that confident. But they've showed tonight that they're back on song.
4. Move!
Solid run
Back here,
again
boys.
from Thomas Mins. Cocaine gets it wide. Kensio.
Tackle away!
Well, it was a local
Right,
derby,
boys.
Steve. Their nerves would be jangling, I'm sure. Last tackle they've reached here. Crossfield kick raking from Kelly. Oh, that's a knock on. Ball has come free.
By Hull.
Knock on by Hull.
Time off.
Well, I think Fanua's grounded it, hasn't he, in the in-goal
I've got a
area?
knock on of Hull KR.
Was it knock on behind the line or in the field of play, Stuart? What's the decision?
Well, that's what he's wanting to find out.
Should be a hand over. Just check to make sure it's not a Hull.
He wants to try and find out where it is, whether it's in the knock-on in the field of play by Hull KR.
Would you say that was backwards?
Well, I think he's jumped through the ball. He's touched it, so I think Mantelato's knocked that on.
And possibly Thornley as the ball's bouncing after that.
Yeah, I think it's a knock-on in the field of play. In my opinion.
Well, Fanua gets his hand down, the forearm over the ball.
Just watch Thornley's hand.
Okay, knock on, turnover.
It's on the last tackle.
It's on the last tackle, so it's a
turnover. Yes, it's a turnover.
Right there, please.
Knock on. Not been the best night for James Webster, Willie Poaching, Jamie Peacock et al.
Ready, Georgie? Don't worry,
I spoke to Jamie Peacock a couple of months ago about the plans that he has for this Hull KR club, and it's a long-term strategy that he has. And some of the players will be here, some of the players won't be. These are tough lessons while that process is going through, and for some of the Hull KR fans, it's difficult times at the minute.
Solid run again from Greenwood. He has tried hard, this young man.
Oh, he's the injured here.
Well, a double back on the leg, and that is not good.
That was a poor tackle, wasn't he? He was already tackled, and he's gone and pushed him right back over. That is caused that injury.
He has been very good in defence and attack. He's never given.
Oh,
he's just
that
bent
hurts.
over, yeah. Scott Taylor.
The right knee.
Let's go.
Oh. Yeah, he's worked hard. He always does, James Greenwood.
Taylor underneath, Liam Watts up top. And immediately Watts is taken off the field by Lee Radford. Blair, halted by Leon Price.
Another thing that Lee Radford will be happy with is the way that their forwards have really kept a good eye on both Blair and Kelly. You know, if they are snuffed out, then the Rovers have got very few options in attack.
Move!
Minns held on. Here is Kelly. He finds Walker. I mean, Walker, Greenwood, they've
put in a big shift.
done a decent night's work. So has Lunt and Kelly.
Mulhern.
Yeah, Mulhern has run strongly too. And Tilts trying to get towards the black and white's line. Lunt. And Kelly will go wide again. Looking for CO.
Okay, it's down.
And then you're finding the big fellow on the wing.
Well, he takes control of that Talanoa. He knows that the kick's coming towards him, so he steps back, runs onto the ball, making sure that there's only going to be him that comes down with it.
Move, George!
And without stating the obvious, it's all a little bit telegraphed. It's give it to Kelly. He's going to put it high. And the black and whites, they're in complete control of this game with just over 5 minutes to go.
Yes, they are, and we know that the middle eights, the 4 Super League clubs that will be down there, fighting for their lives. Hull and Huddersfield, some would say unbelievably. Salford and now Hull Kingston Rovers.
Another wonderful offload there by Fanua. He really has shown up well in this second half.
Good tackle by Thomas Minns on Jordan Thompson.
Could have been a penalty as well at a second goal.
Scott Taylor.
He's back to his best as well.
Oh, he's had a great season, Taylor. He really has. Washbrook. Washbrook then to Liam Watts. Liam Watts then to Josh Bowden.
Move, Matty!
Leon Price, dummy, go on his own.
Come on! Go.
Flings the pass to Jordan Abdul. Abdul!
Move!
Cocaine looked a little bit high. He's had a big game as well, Jordan Abdul.
Time off, tackle 4.
Could have got a penalty, couldn't he? Adam Walker just going down with cramp. And back play.
Boys, Josh! Go that way, please, Josh.
Well, Abdul certainly got one in the mush.
It was a forceful push down.
Just be careful, tackle before.
We're at that stage in the game now where tempers could possibly flare up. There you go. He's done well, Jordan Abdul.
Well, the elbow in his throat doesn't help.
Well, Ben Cockayne hits Maurice Blurt. Maurice Blur goes into the tackle. Benker Kane comes over the top and collides with him. And if you look along the Hull KR team, it's not as though players haven't been turning up. They've been playing well in the groups, but as a team they've not been playing well enough. Now you can see the collision. Maurice Blur, who's the man round the legs of Abdul.
He gets all tangled up, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Back on his feet.
Oi. Josh. Yeah.
Well, you just have to throw your body in when you're close to the line. You don't look at your teammates coming in to affect the tackle. You just try and prevent the opposition from scoring.
Right, listen, I had a word with you.
We've got an incident
What we're doing
actually,
in and around the look area. No, I'm about you using the farm. We're going to put on the court, have a look. You be careful what you're doing. So
He's on the
before
court,
that,
maybe
Phil, yeah?
I think it's the arm in the throat, is it? Or is it the other
no,
one?
it's a
It could be the
tackle
one
before
before as
that.
well.
So it's, no,
They
it's this
send
one.
out the elbow in the throat as well, so there's plenty
Yeah, tackle
for them
four.
to have a look at.
Okay, back here, boys.
later next
Okay?
week.
Back on, Paul.
Washbrook from dummy half. Fires the pass to Mark Sneyd. Short ball from him. Solid drive coming in from Kirk Yeeman.
Ben, come on.
Last one for Hull this set. Sneyd comes wide. Oh, and it just bounced
First
off.
one. Oh, knock on
Single
my out in the air.
Well, Fanua also got, was it Manu? Yeah, it was Manu that got the...
Oh, Hull have got head and feed.
Your man's
Hull have got head and feed.
I thought it was offside here.
John,
When
are we happy with that? The first knock on, yeah?
Knock-ons on the ground there, that's the only knock-on. Got this the wrong way around, I think.
Yeah, well, the ball goes back. Fanua contests for the ball. Then the ball comes off Sikamanu. Fanua's in an offside position.
You're right. Offside.
Your man's not Tom Turret.
You're right, Stuart.
Well done, Terence.
Ready?
Thanks, Andy.
9 out of 10.
Ready there, boys. Sorry.
Hull top of the table.
Okay, I know.
Wigan go to Leeds tomorrow to try and get polarity back. This is Watts. Short ball. Yeeman went without it.
He deserved it as well, especially for all the hard work he put in.
Well, it's a free play, so why not have a dash at this?
Inside.
Albert Kelly knocks on. Bring it back. Take it back.
Time off. Back down there on the 10.
You just get the feeling that quite a lot of the players on either side would say, well, let's get the hooter away. The game's well and truly over.
Yeah, you had him off.
Well, Kirk Yeeman coming onto a crash ball from Liam Watts, who plays it short. Go for the chip over, nothing to lose. May as well go for it. Unfortunately for Albert Kelly and Hull KR, they just can't bring that ball in.
James Webster, Willie poaching, they know it's not been the best, but I bet there are celebrations in Wakefield tonight as the Wildcats prepare for their trip to Perpignan. They make the Super 8s for the first time.
Right there, please, Albert.
And we'll
Albert,
see them
time's off.
in
Come on, boys,
Perpignan
let's get going.
Saturday evening,
Albert, wait there,
4:55,
please.
Sky Sports
Albert,
3.
not yet.
Prior to that, of
Come on,
course,
lads.
Sky Sports 3
Mark,
again
come on, wait there.
for a repeat of last year's grand
Go time,
final.
boys.
And
Head in,
Leeds
Sean.
is something to play for. If they get to 10th in the table, don't forget they get 4
move
home
back here,
games
lads.
in those
Ready,
middle
wait.
eights. So something there for them, and something most certainly in it for Wigan, who will,
move.
if they win, will go
there,
back top
boys,
of
wait
the
here, wait.
table. And
Wait,
we now
boys,
know that
wait.
Mark Sneyd, who went home last week disappointed because he didn't meet John Wells at the touchscreen. He has an appointment with him tonight.
I'm sure he did.
You never saw him going out the ground. He was furious.
That would have been the worst part of his night last week.
It was.
Not speaking to Wells it.
Play on, still
There's
free.
going to be some good teams in that mid-late competition, isn't there?
There is.
Good teams and big crowds, big followings. They'll be rubbing their hands.
That's great from Thornley. This is great from Thornley. He's got Benker Kane.
Beautiful.
Great dummy. Great dummy from Ian Thornley. And Hockey are over for probably the last try of the match. His 10th Super League try. He's the second top try scorer in Super League for the Rovers. And the England Knights International ex of Wigan. It's a great try, this.
Certainly is, and they're just keeping the ball alive. They know they've got nothing to lose. But what about the in and out Thornley? And then finish with an absolute sensational dummy. Oh, but dearie me! He went into the chemist, not only got one, he got a full packet.
Well, Adam Walker's one of those players who always looks to offload the ball. And Ian Thornley, former Wigan junior, went up to rugby union. A big reputation as a youngster, given an opportunity at Hull KR. He's got so much talent. Scores the last try for Hull KR.
Mantellato to try and add the extras, which he does. 30 points to 12. 36 points to 12, I beg your pardon. 36 points to 12. I was going to say respectable, but
no, and Steve
really.
mentioned the word embarrassing. It won't matter what the scoreboard says at the end of this match. The Black and Whites have been completely dominant in this match. Lee Radford, again, that beautiful toothless smile that he's got. He knows that this game has been all about Hull FC. Mahe Fonua has had a good battle with Ian Thornley. He's had it in his back pocket all night with a little bit of early ball. He could use that footwork. 60 metres to go. He proved he's got pace as well, Ian Thornley.
Well, he got a try for Wigan in the 2013 Challenge Cup final against Hull. They won on that occasion, did the Warriors, 16 points to 0. He will be less happy with his 4-pointer against the Black and Whites tonight than he was on that particular occasion. But still, they're giving something for the Rovers supporters and their staff to think about. The last try of the derby, albeit on the losing side.
And when you look at this Black and White effort, you know, you've got to look through at the forwards. Taylor, Houghton, Watts, Minicello's had a brilliant game as well. Manu, Gareth Ellis always gives it all. And when your pack is in control, that is when the likes of Abdul, Sneed and the three quarters take the opposition apart, and they've done that.
Turnover. We've got 10 seconds remaining. The Black and Whites, one match in the first phase remaining at Salford next week. And they are back top of the table here tonight because there is the final siren. Mark Sneed will be John Wells' guest at the touchscreen. And its local bragging rights belong to the west side of this fair city in 2016. And for the first time in Super League history, Hull Kingston Rovers have failed to beat their nearest rivals over the course of a full season. But that will make it